Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to have you here today. Admittedly, I am extremely nervous right now. I am doing a new concept video to me, and I feel like this is going to be helpful for a lot of people maybe. So, Cooper's currently digging in a bag of sewing supplies that I just purchased. Hey, it's just scissors. Today we're going to be following a sewing tutorial from Jess Dang. She is a very, very popular sewing YouTuber, and she self-drafts, I would say, most if not all of her patterns, which is something that I have not ventured into, the whole self-drafting thing. I do get comfortable with certain sewing techniques and will take those techniques and sort of mend them with other patterns, but I do always start off with a pattern as a base. So we're gonna be making our own pattern today with her tutorial. It is the cottage core two-piece set tutorial that was from 2 months ago. And that's actually when I found her channel. I'm nervous about this. I'm extremely nervous because it looks very, very complicated, but that's okay, because a lot of sewing is just cutting rectangles and making curves in those rectangles. So for anybody who has been following her, or I don't know, for whatever reason has yet to follow a tutorial because you're just nervous about how long it's going to take or how difficult it's going to be, I'm here for you. I do have a couple years of sewing experience, but again, all of that has been with patterns. So I picked up some cool techniques that I do recognize in her videos, but I wouldn't say that I am like a self-drafting queen by any stretch of the imagination. So before we do that, I did want to introduce you to today's sponsor, which is Ana Luisa. Ana Luisa has been featured on my channel, I think, twice or 3 times before, and every time they want to work with me, I am literally so happy. I'm actually wearing an Ana Luisa piece right now from one of the previous campaigns, but let me grab the new pieces for you. First of all, Ana Luisa is a New York-based brand that makes sustainable jewelry in clean, low-impact recycled materials, which means that all the gold, silver, or sterling silver has been recycled, which is really awesome because these materials often contribute to really horrible things for the environment. Something about the company that I just love so much is that everything is also produced ethically, so we have sustainable and ethical practices here, and they're actually the first direct-to-consumer jewelry brand to become carbon neutral, which is so cool. I think what's especially fun about Ana Luisa is their designs are always changing. So every time I go on the website, there's something new, which is really fun and just makes shopping for jewelry really exciting. This entire video is basically inspired by this flower pendant necklace. I feel that it is like the epitome of cottage core. So we're going to put it on real quick and we're going to make a dress that will work with this little necklace, or it'll pair really well with it, I should say. The chain length is just perfect. I love it. If you are interested in checking out Ana Luisa, you can head over to their website for 20% off everything through the month of July. You can access that by clicking the link down in the description box below so they know that I sent to you. All right, let's get started drafting this pattern. I'm so scared and nervous, but we're just gonna do it. Well, first of all, we're gonna watch the video and see what exactly is being asked of me. So let's go over there and see what's up.
I use 3.5 meters of chiffon fabric in floral printing for this DIY. The first step is making the sleeve for the top. I cut a rectangle with 40 centimeter length, which is the length of the top you want, and 80 centimeter width, which is 2 times the width of the sleeve. The bigger width you get, the puffier you will have for the sleeve. I fold the rectangle in half.
I thrifted this a while ago, you might remember, but look at how gorgeous. I don't know how I feel about this blue line right here. I want to use that bottom part only for the ruffle, and then use the top of this sheet and obviously the top of this sheet for the rest of the dress. And I think that I will have enough. So we are going to first cut out that piece for the sleeve. Let's look at those dimensions again. I have a notebook so that I can write these dimensions down. So I'm going to first need to cut a rectangle that is 40 centimeters by 80 centimeters, 15 inches, or rather 16 inches by 32 inches.
I fold the rectangle in half on the width line first. Then at the end of the folding line, I mark at 13 centimeter on the.
So at 13 centimeters we mark, and then at 6 centimeters we mark. That's probably to make the curve for the armpit.
There will be the connected part between the sleeve and the main bodice of the top. After cutting, I measure the width of the elastic band to create a fabric hole for it at the top of the sleeve.
Okay, so we're using a lot of elastic, like it looks like 1/2 inch elastic, or maybe even 1/4 inch elastic. And I actually don't know how much of that I have. Whoop. I've got this piece. So this is about the width. I don't know what that would be. Probably 1/4 inch. There's another piece. Yes. Here we go. Let's cut our first piece. I'm so nervous. I have to tell you guys, I got some left-handed scissors. If you didn't know this about me, I am left-handed, and I have never been able to find left-handed scissors in the store, ever. I've always just gotten scissors that could be left or right-handed. Like these ones, there's no like left or right hand orientation, but these ones are so much more comfortable when they do have the orientation. I mean, it's not that big of a difference, but like this feels like way more comfortable. I cut my little pieces. What I have to do now is make an elastic casing thing for it. My work surface is so small. This desk is tiny, and I really, really wish that I got a bigger one. So what I'm gonna do, I marked with my blue washable marker. I don't know if you can even see that, but I marked, and now we just fold until we hit that line. And then we pin it, and we prepare to feed the elastic through it after we sew it. All right, the stitch is made. Now I'm going to figure out what is my next move in this whole journey. I'm excited. I'm feeling semi-confident that I was able to do that. It was just a rectangle, probably not even the hardest part of this entire thing.
Then I sew 2 underarm neckline together.
Simple. We'll just do that really quickly. It's really hard to tell what the right side and the wrong side of this fabric is because it's all kind of jumbled here. I did one of the sleeves wrong, and that's why I was so confused earlier. I just figured it out because look, the angle is off. It's supposed to be like this. We're just gonna toss this for now, and I will redo it later. I'm gonna come back to that because I don't want to do that right now. Dang it. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. But you know what? These things happen. We'll just come back to it later with fresh eyes. I also zigzagged it so that it would be extra secure and not to come apart because this fabric is not 100% cotton like I thought it was. It's some sort of synthetic because it kind of cuts like paper, so it feels like another synthetic fiber that I worked with before that was also a sheet. And then we just hem the sleeve with a little rolled hem. We have one completed sleeve. I'm so stoked about this. It looks very, very cute. Okay, let's figure out what we have next.
To make the fabric hole there, I cut a rectangle with 4 centimeter width and 80 centimeter length.
So we're not finished with the sleeve.
Then I use the iron to create a folding at 2 length lines to hide the end fabric inside. I fix the circle fabric to the position I drew before that, then sewing at 2 sides to create a fabric hole. Remember to keep a small unsewed space at once.
Okay, so we're making a casing for a piece of elastic to go in the sleeve here. So what I'm gonna do actually is just use this failed piece. I cut 2 of the strips because obviously there's 2 sleeves, and then she said to fold it in twice. Can you see that? It's on there now. I've heard people talk about this tool on a podcast that I listen to, but this is what it looks like. I just saw it in the store and I was like, ooh, that looks like it would be actually very helpful. What you do, I think, is you put your elastic in the teeth here and hold it, and then there's a little circle here that you can pull or push down. Yeah, that feels really secure. Okay, well, let's try out the bodkin. Let's see if this is helpful. I think that this tool, yeah, this is great. This is so much better than a safety pin, because this tool is longer than a safety pin as well. So that makes it super, super easy. And when I get to the end of the elastic, I like to pin it just in case it tries to sneak through the fabric. So it's at the very end here. I'll just put a pin through it. Oh my gosh, if you work with a lot of elastic or have to thread waistbands or anything like that quite often, I would very highly suggest getting a bodkin. Again, this is literally my first time ever using it. I just took it out of the packaging and I am sold. I am sold, because sometimes the safety pin can even like put a hole in the elastic and then it rips and then it's just a mess. But this was, wow, that was the easiest threading of elastic I've ever had in my life. Okay, the next piece of elastic is the width of my arm. I'm giving myself some room because I don't want it to be like super tight on my arm. Let's see. Okay, we got 30.5, and that's centimeters, by the way. The bottom is threaded. So, okay, I just am curious as to what this looks like. It looks very, very cute. I'm super into this, but I want to put it on my arm because we know I love doing that. I love kind of spoiling the surprise of what the sleeve will feel like because it's cute. Oh, I love it. That is a very cottage core sleeve. Very, very floofy, like super floofy. I love it. What if, okay, actually, you know what? This sleeve could exist on its own. Like, what if you just made sleeves that you could add on to your other garments just cause, like you had them in like, you know, some solid colors? That would be a really cool way to do like a capsule wardrobe where you have like puffy sleeves that exist on their own, and maybe there's like a little hook and eye or something that can like connect the sleeve to the shoulder. But like this dress is so cute on its own, but like how cute would it be if it had these sleeves attached to it and like in the same color, right? It'd be so cute. I think I'm only 4 minutes into a 16-minute tutorial, so let's see what else.
To make the main bodice of the top, I cut a rectangle with 24 centimeters width between two breasts, blood 4 centimeters, and 61 centimeter width, which is 1.5 times a half of the bust size.
Okay, so now I need to do some more measuring for the bust. So the bodice is 1.5 times half the bust size. So that's probably like the width around your bust. And then the length of that is however long you want it to be, plus 4 centimeters. Okay, so my bust width is 86 centimeters. So 86 divided by 2, 43 times 1.5, 64.5 centimeters. And then the width from the upper to the under breast, I'm just gonna measure, like using this as a guide here. Let's do 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 by 23. Wait, I think that she did 24. I might just go off of her measurement. Yeah, she did 24. So I'll give myself 2 more inches than her. So 26 centimeters. Okay, so I need to cut a rectangle that's 64 centimeters by 26 centimeters. My piece is cut, and I'm going to lay it down on my table and do the same thing that I did before and mark 13 centimeters and I don't remember the other one, but I'm gonna mark in 2 places. At the top corner, I'm gonna go in and mark 13 centimeters.
On the length line, I mark at 6 centimeters. On the width line, I mark at 13 centimeters.
And then 6 centimeters on the other side.
On the west side, on the length line, I draw a straight line at the middle of the rectangle. From the top of the straight line, I mark down 3 centimeters.
Ah, here's where it goes really fast. Okay, so there's the middle. Down here at the middle, we'll connect these 2. And then from there, I mark down 3 centimeters. Now I connect this top one to the center. This is stressful. It's gonna be okay. It's just a lot of measuring, you know, when you're making your own pattern, it's just a ton of measuring. I'm almost upset that I didn't first do this with like a paper so that I could create a pattern out of it. But if I end up liking it, I'll probably do that so that I can make more.
Then I draw a curved line from this mark to...
Okay, so now we're gonna do a curved line, and she didn't do this, but I'm gonna do this so that it's symmetrical. I'm going to fold it in half to do that curved line. Then from the bottom, I mark 4 centimeters. Okay, and then we're going to connect to the very end here. And then you curve that one. So I'm gonna fold it in half again. Okay, so now I need to go cut out 3 more pieces of exactly the same thing. That's what it seems like is happening in the video here. My 4 bodice pieces are cut.
At the top curved line, I'm making a loose seam first. Then I create a puffy there later. Make sure the ending width is 24 centimeters, which is the inside width between 2 shoulders plus 2 centimeters. After that, I connect this piece to the other piece together at 2 sides to finish the main bodice of the top, making 2 pieces like this.
So I need to do a basting stitch across the top here, and I'm going to gather this until it's the inside width between 2 shoulders plus 2 centimeters. So basically like the distance between your shoulders plus 2 centimeters. I don't really know. 29.5? Does that sound right? Hers is 24. Then the instructions say to sew up the side seams. So I'm gonna do that really quickly and then repeat this entire thing for the lining pieces. I just took a little lunch break, and during my lunch break I finished the other sleeve because, you know, I had to redo it. And look! It's so good. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I need to figure out the next step, which will be attaching the sleeves to the bodice. So let's see what she says.
Now I'm connecting the sleeve to the main bodice of the top. Make sure the sleeve has to be in between 2 main bodices. Then sew in.
It looks pretty simple. I'm gonna turn everything inside out. the tutorial where it gets like confusing because she stops talking and I'm lost. All right, so then we take this first piece right here. We start pinning it along the same seam that it would be as if it was around. I don't know how to explain this. Flip it upside down, pin the lining on, around. I'm lost. Hopefully I'm doing this right. You know what, if this all goes wrong, I at least made a really beautiful sleeve. I can at least rely on that sentiment. Wow, that sucked. I did not enjoy sewing that. All right, well, let's see how bad this has turned out. Oh, is it? I'm confused by this. What has gone on here? Okay, I'm gonna pull that out. We have our piece, but this looks way too big. I hope that there's gonna be, whew, thank God. There is another piece of elastic that goes across the front to like pull it in. We're gonna be doing this like a significant amount of pulling. Yeah, but I think that it'll be okay once that happens. Okay, so I'm gonna understitch it now. Don't neglect understitching, you guys. It makes your pieces look way more professional. Understitching is done, so now I have to put elastic at the back of the piece, but I think I'm actually gonna have to put it on the back and the front. Well, she didn't say this, but she might have said where to measure. But I'm just gonna measure from like armpit to armpit and kind of go with that, because that's like about where it goes. Let's just try that and see. I'm going to sew a channel. So basically what you do is you sew a line right next to where the elastic would go so that the elastic can still fit in there. But you're doing that on, I believe it would be on both layers here. So let's do that real quick. Got our bodkin again. This bodkin is the MVP of this video. So I made the channel, I left an opening on one of the sides, so I'm going to thread it up through the inside here and then stick it through the hole. I don't know, I'm kind of confused. Oh yeah, it worked. It worked! I might have to open it up just a little bit more though. Okay, so here is my progress. It looks very good. So I don't know if she did this, but I put elastic on the front and on the back. And you know what? I can see myself making this shirt again, or you know, this dress again, but just like altering it slightly because I really like the structure, like the sleeve situation with the bodice. Like it's very cute. So I'm pretty pleased with it so far, but now there's some sort of band that goes, you like my outfit? There's some sort of band that goes below here to like hold it all in place so that it's more like this. Then we do the skirt, I think. All right, so I did the weird like burrito method thing that she tells you to do to close up the front. Or actually you're closing up the back. So now what I have to do is get a piece of elastic that is, I paused it, half of the under bust size. So in centimeters, half of your under bust. Where is my, oh my gosh. I need like a tool belt, you know what I mean? So I just have everything on me all the time. 30, okay, so I need an elastic that is 15 inches long. Elastic is in. Now there's something to do with the front with the band. We're going to gather this front area and gather it until it is half of your bust. added on the bottom piece, which has a strap connecting to it. So I'm gonna sew that on and then also sew down the strap. It is day 2 of working on this little outfit. And yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. So today we're making the skirt. Hello. So, all right, I have a confession to make. So you might be wondering, you know, where's the skirt? This video was a 2-piece set. It just wasn't gonna work out for me. So let me just roll some clips of the last couple days of making the skirt and what has ensued, because a process that should have been quite easy has been turned into something much more difficult, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Something that I'm gonna do different than her, she uses an invisible zipper in this, and I don't want to do that. I've never used a zipper before. Like, I have literally never sewn with a zipper. But I do have, obviously I have experience with elastic, and I would prefer an elastic waist anyway because it's a bit more comfortable. But I'm going to do the front like flat, and so the elastic will only be in the back of the skirt. My waistband is gonna be 2 pieces. Hold on, I think I need to watch a video on how to do this. My pattern pieces are cut, and I'm still just trying to figure out if I've done any of this right. I'll admit I'm a little confused right now. All right, my pieces for the skirt are all together. Woohoo! I now need to gather the skirt up. Here's my waistband. I did a 4-inch waistband. Oh, this is interesting. And there is our skirt. Very cute. What do I need to do now? Oh, I need to figure out where I want this to fold over because I have a piece of elastic that I need to fit in the back. So let me find the back. So I did indeed make a skirt, as you can see here, and it looks cute, right? Wrong. First of all, and this isn't a bad thing, but I'm reusing a red zipper from a previous dress that I made over, and I removed an invisible zip, so I just figured I could recycle the invisible zip, which there's already red in the skirt, and when it's like, you know, just sitting like this, you can't really see it very well. And it was my first time ever sewing in an invisible zip. So I'm very proud of myself for doing that because it was honestly the reason that this project dragged on extra long. Because I thought to myself, when I saw that she added a zipper in her skirt, well, that's just a bit too complicated for me and I wanted something simple, right? So I went through all of these extra steps to simplify it, when in the end, the problem was my fabric, okay? So when I bought this, I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but when I started cutting into it, it immediately became clear to me that it was a synthetic material. I don't know what synthetic, I mean, obviously like there's like polyester and stuff. It melts when you burn it. So that's how you know it's a synthetic pretty much. The fabric in general is quite stiff. That's why it's able to hold this shape of this sleeve. Like, look at this. I can pull it in whatever direction I want and it stays because the fabric just has like a stiff quality to it, a little starchy, if you will. So that's great for tops. Like, this shirt is literally my favorite shirt. I can wear it like this. I can wear it like this. I happen to be wearing it with overalls right now, but I could, you know, not wear it with overalls, although it is pretty cropped, which I feel like I'm not super comfortable wearing things that are mega cropped with like high-waisted jeans or something. I had a few solutions that I went through in my head, but at the end of the day, when I made the first skirt prototype, which I did not take pictures of or film, and I don't know why, I'm kind of kicking myself for it, but I was just so frustrated with it that I wanted to just move on. This bottom ruffle right here, you can see, can you see the ruffles? This is 2 times gathering. So I doubled the width of this bottom section to make this bottom part. So when you're doing gathers on your waist, you would normally double your waist measurements. But it was really, really puffy, like this, but in a bad way. And it almost looked like, well, it didn't almost look like, it 100% made me look pregnant, which looking pregnant is not a bad thing. It's just that I'm not pregnant, you know, and it was just like puffing out, you know, and with the placement of the skirt on my waist, it looked like a maternity skirt, if I'm honest. Now, I am like all for like the empire waist, like flowy silhouette. This was different. It was puffy, but in a not cute way. So the reason that Jess was able to achieve the look and have it not look like extra puffy, I should say, is because her fabric was very, very drapey. I think that she uses a chiffon or something. I mean, honestly, I didn't think about it too much when I started the garment about how this fabric would react when it was gathered, but it really does make a difference. And when you're doing something with heavy gathering, sometimes it's better to have a thinner fabric, you know what I mean? So even though this is thin, it is still very starchy. So what I did for the top of the waist here is I did 1.5. So I got my waist measurement and then I multiplied it by 1.5 and I gathered that. And that was much, much better for this type of fabric. So if your fabric is more starchy, maybe even thicker, try minimizing your gathering to 1.5. I wouldn't say go any lower than 1.5 because at that point it doesn't really look like gathers. I did not take into account that with skirts, well, first of all, I don't typically make skirts. I don't wear skirts. So I should have known from day one that this would not have worked out for me. In my mind, I was thinking, well, it's a two-piece set and I'll only wear them together. But then, like, as time went on, I was like, man, I just really hate skirts. I hate the way that skirts look on me. I just don't wear skirts very often at all, even if it is a two-piece set. This is another lesson that if there's a type of garment that you don't typically wear or you don't typically like, it's probably gonna be the same if you make it for yourself, because at the end of the day, it's still a skirt. And if you don't like skirts, I don't know why I thought making myself a skirt would make it any different. You know what I mean? I don't buy skirts. So when you're planning out clothing to make, try to pick silhouettes and types of garments that are familiar to you and things that you already buy, things that you wear all the time, because at that point, you'll get a lot of use out of the garments. You're not wasting your time, money, and energy, but also you're wearing things that are already comfortable to you. Because I know that like when I first started making clothes, I wasn't very good at it and sometimes it looked kind of bad. So if I was also wearing something that looked a little bit wonky and it was completely out of my comfort zone, I would have felt pretty uncomfortable wearing a lot of the things that I was making. But I think wearing your makes, even if they're not that good, is a really great way to learn more about what you do like on your body and, you know, how you can fix it, how you can adjust it. And like actually wearing the garment helps you figure out those little things that ready to wear clothes have that you enjoy, and then you can, you know, employ those in your future sewing journeys or whatever else. So with all of this being said, when I made the skirt, I made the gathers 1.5 width, and then I gathered it all together. But you know what I didn't think about is my body is very, I wouldn't say it's like an hourglass shape, but I do have a narrow waist, and then my butt is, let's say we're verging on Pixar mom, okay? So when I was making this, I wasn't really considering that I would need to have extra room in my butt. So I could have very easily fixed this in the beginning by grading the skirt to have more of an angle. So at the top, it would be 1.5, right? But at the bottom, it would come out to maybe the size of like double, like 2 times my waist. But it's graded, so it's like an angle. It's not like straight down, because with gathered skirts, you're basically just creating a rectangle and you're cinching the top. And so it automatically makes a triangle. But when you have only 1.5 width, that's not very much. And if your waist is smaller than your bum, it can be a lot more difficult to make that work. So basically with this, my butt and my hips are maxing out the garment. And then when it gets to my waist, it does the puff. And then it also, with that like tightening in the hips and the puffing on the belly, it made this part look like I was trying to do like a mermaid skirt, which is definitely not what I was trying to do. So all of this said, I made a lot of mistakes here. I learned a lot of things. I learned how to do an invisible zip. I'm no longer afraid of invisible zippers because it was very, very easy. I just wanted to say thank you guys for joining me on this journey. And at the very least, we got a very cute top out of it. I've been wearing it with my overalls and things lately because it's just like such a fun juxtaposition of like girly and masculine, I don't know, overall thing. And these overalls I actually made for myself. These are the Yanta overalls by Helen's Closet. And I love them. I made them in denim. It's been an adventure and I'm very thankful for you joining me. Thank you very much for coming along and watching. And if you are interested in checking out Ana Luisa's sale, they are having a sale for all of July. And again, I'll have all the information on the screen for you to go check that out. I just love the pieces that they sent me. Like, it has the ultimate cottagecore vibe and like sophisticated vibe. And I just really love all of their jewelry all the time. It's always so good, high quality stuff. So anyway, thank you very much for watching and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.